good to come to a dynamic sequence with a conscious sense of your physicality, of your body and its aliveness. So let's wake things up a little bit before we begin properly. So you'll be standing at the front of your mat with your feet a little wider than hip width apart, and just soften your knees. So there's some buoyancy, a bounce there in your knees. And your arms are hanging loosely by the side. You just start to swing them from side to side. So you're twisting through your torso. And we'll keep this going for a little while. So gently, loosely, easily swinging. And then take this up through shoulder height and give yourself a tap on the back of the opposite shoulder. So you're letting the arms find their own momentum there, swinging really freely. And if it feels safe for your neck and your shoulders, start to swing the arms high up in the air. And so from side to side, twisting and swinging. So you'll feel this differently through the front of the body, through the sides of the body, opening everything up. And then bringing the arms back down through shoulder height. And through waist height. And then slow your movement. And become still. Stepping the feet a little closer together, so about hip width apart, closing the eyes, noticing your inner sensations. Front of the body, back of the body, sides of the body, contents of the body. That little vibration or tingling within that shows that energy is on the move. Just aware of your joints, all your joints getting a good warm up with that simple twisting exercise. Becoming present to yourself. And then let's take a deep breath in and sweep the right arm out to the side and up alongside the ear. And then you're holding your breath to lengthen through the right side of the body. You keep holding the breath to stretch over to the left. And then you exhale to release that right arm down. Push the right shoulder up towards the ear. Push it down towards the floor. And then relax the shoulder. Take that on the left side, deep breath in, sweeping the arm out and up. And then you hold your breath to lengthen through your left side. You keep holding the breath as you curve over into a side stretch to the right. And you're exhaling, releasing the left arm down. Push the left shoulder up towards the ear. Push it down towards the floor. And then relax the shoulder. Take a deep breath in, sweep both arms out and up above the head. Touch your palms, holding your breath, lengthening your whole body. And then keep holding your breath and lengthen a little bit more. Exhale, release the arms out and down beside you. Push both shoulders up towards the ears, squeeze them tightly. Push both shoulders down towards the floor. And then relax the shoulders. And step your feet together, so the insides of the feet are touching. Soften the knees again, you're bending the knees. And then circle the knees round a few times. You can lift and lower your toes as you work your way round your circle. Just feeling into the strength of your legs. Take a few of those in reverse. And then be still. So stepping the feet hip width apart again. Soften your knees And take a curl down into a forward bend. So just let yourself curl gently forwards and see how that is. You're taking a breath or two here. And keeping your heels on the floor and your feet parallel, knees parallel. Let's bend the knees and drop the hips down a little way. And then you lift the hips back up, but you keep the body close in towards the legs. We'll take that a few times where you bend your knees, they don't knock in towards one another. And then you lift the hips back up, drawing body in towards the legs. Keep going with that. You might want your hands on the floor beside your feet as you do this. So as you lift the hips back up, you're pushing into your fingertips as well as into the soles of the feet. And then next time you're in your forward bend there, take a pause and a deep breath. So conscious of back body as you breathe in. And if that felt okay and you're prepared to stay there, just take another 2 deep breaths there. And then with your palms planted to the floor, you're going to step or jump your feet to the back of the mat. So you might step the right foot back and then the left foot back, or perhaps you take a jump. So you've come into your dog pose. So your hands are quite wide. You want the little fingers touching the outer edges of the mat. You're spreading your fingers. Your upper back is broad. Your spine is long. You're softening your knees just to bring a bit more length into your upper body. And you're taking deep and conscious breaths here. And let's skim the knees down towards the floor. And then lift the hips back up. So you're in your dog pose again. Swivel on the balls of the feet. Take your heels over to the right. And then you're going to bend your knees at this angle, just lowering your hips down from here. And then you come back up into neutral and you take a breath. And then you're swiveling on the balls of the feet to take your heels to the left. And you bend your knees and you drop your hips down at this angle. And then you push yourself back up and into neutral. And then from neutral again, let's skim both knees to the floor and then push back up, taking a breath. And then let's come down onto the knees and step the right foot through in between the hands. So the knee and the heel are in line there. So press your front foot firmly down and let's inhale, take the arms out and up, touch the palms, hold the breath and lengthen. Keep holding the breath, lengthen a little bit more and then exhale, bring your arms back down. Tuck the toes of your back foot under, lift your back knee, lengthen your back leg. So you're coming into a low lunge. And then see if you can reduce the reliance on your hands to be here. So firing up the muscles of the legs, firing up your core muscles, and maybe reaching your arms forward, reaching your arms up, taking a breath here, and then lowering the arms down. So nice and slow so you don't lose your balance. Lower your back knee, come to all fours. And then step your left foot through in between the hands. Pressing the foot firmly down, let's inhale, take the arms out and up, touch the palms. Hold the breath and lengthen. Keep holding the breath as you lengthen a little bit more. And then exhale, let's bring the arms down by the sides. Tuck the toes of your back foot under, lift your back knee, and come into your low lunge. So here the chest is higher than the hips, and you're hugging muscle to the bones of the legs. So start to take the reliance away from your hands on the floor. And maybe this is enough just to hold here with the hands just a centimetre or so from the floor. It might be that you can slowly reach the arms forward and reach the arms up and take a deep breath here. And then let's come down. So again, nice and slow so you don't lose your balance. And then lower your back knee and come to all fours. And come back into a child's pose. Taking 3 deep restorative breaths in your child's pose. And then let's come to all fours. Walk the knees a centimetre or so further back so they're not directly underneath your hips. And then tuck your toes, lift your knees and come into plank posture. Yeah, so making a straight line with the body here, and your chin's tucking slightly, and your arms, your legs are hugging muscle to bone, and you're engaging through your core. You want your upper abs to be sucking a little up and under your rib cage. You want your lower abs to be curling slightly towards your navel. So nice and strong in your plank posture. And then let's tip the heels to the right side to see how that feels. And come to center. And then tip the heels to the left side and come to center. And then you tip the heels down to the right and bring your left hand onto your right hip. So you're having to really lengthen your right arm, your supporting arm. If you need a little bit of extra support to be here, because it's quite strong, you can place your left foot firmly down onto the floor and push into that foot. And if that feels okay, you can reach your left arm alongside the ear. You take a deep body shape breath here. You're going to release your left arm down. Yes, come back into your plank pose so you can step your left foot back. Just holding there in your plank posture for a moment. And then tip your heels to the left. So you're on the sides of the feet supporting you there. And your left arm will lengthen, your supporting arm will lengthen. You see if you can bring your right hand onto the hip. And then you're placing your right foot firmly to the floor for a little bit of extra support. And if that feels okay, you're reaching your right arm directly up towards the ceiling. So deep breath here, finding the shape of your body with your breath. And then you're bringing the arm down and gently stepping the leg back so you find your plank posture again. And then let's come down onto the knees and into a child's pose to take 3 deep restorative breaths. And then coming up to all fours and stepping your right foot through in between the hands. Let's keep the fingertips on the floor this time. We're tucking the toes of the back foot under, lifting the back knee, straightening out the front leg, and anchoring your back heel down. So you come into this standing split, you bow forwards, and then you bend your front knee, and you lower your back knee to come to your starting position. So let's try that a couple more times. So you're lifting your back knee, straightening out your front leg, anchoring your back heel to the floor and bowing down. So your front leg doesn't need to be straight. You might keep a deep bend in your front knee. And then you're releasing that and coming back into your lunge. And once more, let's come up. So see how it is to be here. Again, release your reliance on the hands. See if the hands will come away from the floor. Push firmly into your feet and bring yourself up to standing. So you're coming to upright. And then you can bend your front knee and bring your arms alongside the ears. So you're in a warrior one pose. You can take a deep breath here. And then slowly bring the hands back down onto the floor, lowering your back knee, and you're coming to all fours. Changing sides, so you're stepping your left foot through in between the hands. You're up on the pads of your fingers. So tuck the toes of your back foot under, lift your back knee, straighten out your front leg, anchor your back heel down, bowing forwards. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your neck. And then come out of that. So bend your front knee. So you'll lift your back heel, lower your back knee, and you're in your starting position again. So twice more, coming up. Finding some length in that hamstring and in your back muscles. And then coming down. Once more, let's come up and find your strength here. So strengthen your legs, strengthen your pelvic floor, engage your core, take the hands away from the floor and uncurl yourself to upright. Do it nice and slow, so you're pushing the front foot down into the floor and then you're bending your front knee, you're taking the arms alongside the ears and reaching them to the sky. Take a deep breath. And then let's come back down, all the way to your lunge, and to all fours. Back into your child's pose, taking 3 deep breaths. So using these moments in child's pose to explore the full capacity of your lungs, front, back, sides, top and bottom. And then let's come up into a dog pose again. So tucking your toes, lifting your knees and your hips and coming up into dog pose. Now this time let's transition from dog pose into plank posture. So your hands and your feet shouldn't need to move very much. You just bring your body into a straight line to be in plank. So your shoulders are above your wrists and you push up from your belly and you're in dog again. And twice more, so you're coming into plank. Back up into dog. And then you're into plank. And up into dog. And come down onto the knees. And become aware of your shoulder blades. So your shoulder blades lying flat to the back. And see if you can squeeze the shoulder blades in towards one another. And then move them away from one another without engaging your low back. So shoulder blades squeeze in and then move away. doing this thoracic push-up. And then be still with that and turn your inner elbows to face forwards. And then they face in towards one another. And they face forwards and towards one another, facing forwards. And next time elbows are facing forwards, take a pause there. And let's come down into a half press up. So you're going to bend your elbows, point them towards the wall behind you, lower yourself about halfway down towards the floor, and then bring yourself back up. Do it slowly. So it's obviously quite strong. So we do it twice more. So you bend the elbows, and you come halfway down, and you straighten the arms, and you come back up. So take it again. Next one, let's come all the way down. And forehead can be on the floor, so the hands stay where they are alongside the rib cage. And let's introduce an alternate backward rotation of the shoulders. And then an alternate forward rotation of the shoulders. And then be still with the shoulders. Extend the arms out to shoulder height, with the palms facing downwards. Feel your stomach muscles draw towards the spine. If it feels safe for your back, you're going to be raising your legs as well as your chest and your arms, coming into a locust pose variation. And if you've got delicate back, keep your legs on the floor. So when you're ready, it's arms, legs, chest, head coming up. And you're lengthening your limbs and you're lengthening your neck. You're reaching the crown of the head forward. You're reaching the toes backwards. You're reaching the fingertips outwards. And you're holding. And then let's lower down. Gather the hands back in alongside the rib cage. Take some simultaneous backward rotations of your shoulders. And then forward rotations. And be still with the shoulders. Just rest the hands to the back of the head. So you're interlocking the fingers there behind the head. Tuck the toes of both feet under. Push the heels to the wall behind. Lift your elbows up so the forehead's on the floor. The neck is long. The abdominal muscles are engaging. And let's hold here. You're breathing into back body. Just testing your stamina without forcing. And then let's release. So lower the elbows down, untuck the toes. Palms alongside you again. Leading from your low abdomen, your low rib cage, you want to feel that lift a little from the floor first. Squeeze your elbows in. Lift yourself up away from the floor nice and flat. So try not to push your chest up first. And then come into child's pose. Through all fours. And back down onto the floor. So going slowly. So let's try that a couple more times. So you lead from your low abs, you lift yourself up and back. Come into child's pose. And then through all fours and down onto the floor. And again, coming up. And into child's pose. And through all fours. And to the floor. Take a deep breath in here. Hold your breath for a moment. And then a long breath out. Do that twice more, inhaling, belly and chest pressing into the floor, holding the breath. And then a long breath out. And again. And then you're pushing yourself up and back last time. You're coming into child's pose. Three deep restorative breaths here. So comparing how it is to breathe when you've got your belly pressing into the floor as to this position where you've got a bit of space between your knees so belly has room to expand more freely. And then let's walk the hands in to sit upright on the knees, as long as that's comfortable for your joints. You're sitting upright on your knees, you've got the hands to the floor behind you. You're pressing your ankles down the front of the shins. You're lifting your hips, squeezing your shoulder blades in, leading with your pubic bone, your pelvis there. It's coming into this back bend, this camel posture, and then lowering back down. And take that again. And coming down. And once more. And then coming down. Bring the hands on the floor in front of the knees. Tuck the toes under and lift your knees up. So walk the hands in. And feel that you're hugging your inner ankles together. So they're staying hip width apart. You're hugging them in. And then let's raise the arms and reach them forward. And then pressing your heels down, let's straighten the legs and come up to standing. And then you can just swing the arms down beside you. So let's have the hands on the hips now and bend the knees. And then keeping your left knee bent, so extend your right leg out to the side and then cross your right thigh over your left, so your thighs are touching. So hips facing forwards, knees pointing forwards. And your left heel is on the floor. And then with a long spine, just lower your hips down a little way. So your right foot, ball of the right foot's on the floor to steady you there, and you come back up. And you do that again. And then you come back up. And again. And coming back up, so straightening out the legs. And doing the same thing on the other side. So you bend your knees, and you extend your left leg out. And then you cross your left thigh over your right. So you've got the ball of the left foot on the floor. So hips forward, knees forward, just check that out. And then you're lowering your hips. Might feel different on this side. And then you come back up, do it slowly. Lowering your hips. And coming back up. So belly's drawing in a little bit. And you're lowering your hips. Crossing the legs, feet are hip width apart. So it's doing it in neutral now, in this neutral position. So you don't want your knees to knock in towards one another as you bend them, keeping them pointing directly forward. Heels on the floor, and you're lowering your hips. So test yourself, see how far down you can go there. And then you're coming back up. And again, lowering the hips. And coming back up. And lowering. So let's take a pause. So you feel that your legs are hugging in. They stay apart. And it might be enough just to stay here. If you're able to, you can reach your arms forward, reach them up. Take a pause. 3 deep breaths. And then straighten your legs, and again, just drop the arms down and swing them. So you should be at the back of your mat here. Just going to walk forward a little way. So come maybe midway along your mat. And again, the hands can be on the hips. And just step your right foot back, just reach it back so that the toes are connecting to the floor. And then you're drawing your low ribs in and down. And you're going to pivot forward. Lift that right leg up. A place that you can balance. And then step that right foot back to neutral. And do it on the other side, so you're stepping your left foot back. It's comfortably so you can reach the rest of the toes on the floor. So engaging through your front body here, through your core, draw to your spine, keep your chest open, keep your neck long. And then you just lift that leg a little and pivot forward. So you want to keep the body, the leg in line. So not leaning too far forward. And then step that left foot in. Just raising and lowering your opposite heel there. Release out any tension from the legs. And then let's have both feet to the floor, so arms down by the side. Take a deep breath in, squeeze the shoulders up towards the ears. Long breath out and let the shoulders down. And again, inhaling. And exhaling. And once more. Inhaling. Exhaling. And let's come to cross-legged sitting position from here. So you can do that by crossing your legs, and then whichever leg you've automatically put in front here, you can change the cross round. So you'll go in the direction of your habit. So crossing your legs, take your feet quite wide and come onto the little toe sides of your feet. So you're rolling. You're rolling onto the sides of your feet. So your knees can bend and they start to go outwards. And your core is on. It's going to stop you from falling. And you lower yourself down. So you find your way to cross-legged sitting. If it's not comfortable to sit cross-legged, you can have your legs out wide. So just notice which leg you've got in front. And you're going to hook your thumbs with your opposite thumb on top. And so if you're here, I've got my right leg in front, so it's my left thumb on top. I'm going to take the arms up alongside the ears, raise the gaze, lengthen through the front of the body. And release the arms down. And And hands can be to the floor in front of your knees here. That might be enough for you. If there's some room to come forward, then you do so. You're taking 3 deep restorative breaths into the back of your lungs there, down towards your hips. Uncurl to upright, and if you're sitting with the legs crossed, let's change the cross, so you can be doing this, as I say, with your legs out wide. And so again, it's the opposite thumb to leg. So here I've got my left leg in front, so I've got my right thumb on top of the left. And you're pulling the thumbs against one another, and you take the arms up. You raise the gaze, and you lengthen through the front of the body, really lifting. And then release the arms down, hands in front of the knees, taking a breath, perhaps coming forwards. 3 deep restorative breaths here. Uncurling to upright. And you're coming to lying to bring your sequence to a close. So you can lie on your back with your legs crossed if you just want to test that out. So you'd have the hands behind you, and then you bend the elbows, see if you can come down onto both elbows simultaneously. And then you release the elbows and you come down, so you can just see how that is for a moment, lying on your back with your legs crossed. And you might want to change the cross of the legs, because that will be a different experience again. You can, of course, enjoy a few minutes of relaxation with your legs crossed if it's comfortable. You might prefer to extend the legs out at this point and relax from there. You just give yourself the time you need to recuperate.